Have you ever seen an image of the impossible staircase? Well, this is the sonic version of the impossible staircase. Sounds like it's descending forever. It could easily be reversed so that it's climbing forever, and it's called a Shepard-Risset Glissando. Often people just call it a Shepard tone, but that's actually something a little bit different. And it could be created in various ways, so if you've got other ideas on how to do it, I'd love to hear from you. This version isn't perfect, but it's easy to create. But every step is important, so follow along. Oscillators 1 and 2 are what we're going to use here, and oscillator 1 is going to be set to 0 in the mixer, while oscillator 2 is going to be set to 100% in the mixer. They're both sawtooth waves, and bring up oscillator 2 1 octave to 4 feet. Now from mod envelope 1, you're going to use the shape where I have it right now, which is that attack is all the way up to 100% and decay, sustain, and release are at 0. Make sure that it's set to loop. Then go into your envelope menu, and for mod envelope 1, where it says repeats 3, that's only going to repeat 3 times as opposed to infinitely, which is what we want. So scroll all the way to the right until it's set to on. Now we're going to go into the mod matrix, and using 4 mod slots with the source for all 4 of them set up to be mod envelope 1, we're going to modulate pitch and volume. So in slot 1, mod envelope 1 will be increasing the pitch of oscillator 1 to a depth of positive 30, which is exactly 1 octave, and positive 30 for mod slot number 2, with the destination as the pitch of oscillator 2. Now you could achieve that in 1 mod slot because there's actually a destination for the pitch of all 3 oscillators, but I wanted to leave oscillator 3 out of it in case we want to bring oscillator 3 in later without any pitch shift. So I've got the first 2 slots set up like that. Third slot is going to bring up the volume of oscillator 1 to the maximum extent, because remember, it's starting from 0, and the opposite will happen for oscillator 2, which is starting from 100%, and we're going to bring it down to negative 64, which is the lowest depth that you can get. All right, so let's see what that sounds like. So while that's running in the background, what's happening here is that as oscillator 1 reaches its highest pitch and volume, that's the exact same pitch and volume where oscillator 2 begins its cycle. So it sounds like oscillator 1 continues its journey when actually that's oscillator 2 kind of picking up where it left off. And then as oscillator 2 reaches the end of its cycle, it will be at its highest pitch but lowest volume, and it ends, and that's right where oscillator 1 begins at its 0 volume as well. So it should be kind of a seamless loop. Unfortunately, there is a little blip there in the middle of the cycle, so I've tried to mask that with different things. Let me know if you come up with anything, but you can do whatever you want with the patch at this point because we've got our basic ascending glissando. So do anything. I add chorus, reverb. I'm going to add some distortion, overdrive, and set a low pass filter with some resonance. Add some noise. Oscillator 3, I can bring that in and it'll just be a steady tone in the background, which I think makes it kind of spooky. And it's very easy to reverse this. If you want it to be descending, here's what you do. Reverse the octaves of oscillator 1 and 2. So oscillator 1 is now at 4 feet, oscillator 2 at 8, and then just go back into your mod matrix. Don't do anything with the volumes that you set, but for the first 2 slots where it's rising in pitch up to 30, now change that to negative 30, so they'll be descending 1 octave. Now we can see what that sounds like. So it'll do that forever. All right, so that's it for this one. Not a perfect Shepard-Risset Glissando because of that little blip that you sometimes hear. It's not consistent and I don't always hear it, but it is kind of there. You may be able to mask it in other ways. Certainly in your DAW you could. But let me know what you come up with, and enjoy infinity.